Good morning, welcome along to day 9 on the Cape Wrath Trail. So last night was quite difficult conditions. It was cold. I was struggling in the forest to find a sheltered spot to camp on with a decent water source. A lot of the recent dry weather seems to have dried up a lot of the streams within the forest, so I came up a bit higher to the top of one of the rivers, and yeah, it was a cold night. There was ice on the tent outside. There was a snow flurry this morning. If you look back at all the hills in that direction, you can see they all had a new dusting of snow overnight. There's another rain or snow cloud passing over in the distance there, but yep, quite challenging conditions. Cold exposure, everything takes longer when your fingers are cold, everything's sharper, all the bits of plastic you've got in your bag, just so much more difficult to do everything. So this is the plan for today. So we've got to head in this direction. There's a little marker there that's on the Harvey map. I'm sure that's the right one. High hill off to the left, high hill off to the right. So we're going roughly to the Belak and on the left hand side of it. So that looks like in the right direction. There's a track that continues from the forest. So I'm going to follow that, and then I've got a contour around to the left, stay lower than the peat bogs but higher than the start of the rivers, and make my way down into Glen Douchary. So I'm going to be heading round the corner of this hill soon, so I just wanted to take one look back at the mountains where I've come from. I'm not sure if I'll see those again. You can see the weather is coming in places. Okay, you can see more clearly where we have to go now. I have to get to roughly this intersection here and then follow the right hand side of that further gorge. So we've got to descend sort of in that direction. So I'm going to cross the river here and then make my way on to the other side. Lots of options again because the water levels are low, so lots of safe places to cross. So we're just following the River Douchary along on its right hand side. I think we've got to get to some sort of waterfall, and I think there's a path from there, so the going should get a little bit easier once we get to that waterfall. Okay, this is where I'm going to ford across the smaller river. River Douchary's up on the left there, and then we've got to get across this and get onto that side. So these rocks are pretty black with algae growth, so quite slippy, but that was quite easy. And then yeah, we follow this side of the river now until the waterfall. Is this a welcome sight? Promise of better paths and an easier walk. That section in Glen Douchary, coming down off the hill and then navigating around the Douchary River, that was really tough. Really uneven ground. I had a hailstorm thrown in as well for good measure. So yeah, so it's been pretty full on this morning. Don't for Bothy. Hello, so we're about 20 kilometres in for the day today. It's about 1:30. We've been plodding along on the track from Knockdamp for about the last hour. We're just coming to a river crossing here, and then the next point of interest on the route to Oykel Bridge will be the schoolhouse Bothy, and I think we should be picking up a path through some woodland just before we actually get to Oykel Bridge. So okay, so just coming up to schoolhouse Bothy, have a quick look around, and then, as it's not my stop for today, I won't hang around, so head on to Oykel Bridge. Bothy. So the separate sleeping area there. Plenty of space. I do really like walking along by the side of these cascading rivers, with the woodland behind. You hear the bird song much more. Get the sound of the water. Very relaxing. There's been some fantastic Scots pines along the way. Taken a couple of pictures of them, standing proud amongst all the other trees here. There's lots of silver birch, firs. So we're just about leaving the forest tracks behind now. That was a nice walk through a natural pine wood, and then we're just coming into Oykel Bridge. I'm going to pop into the hotel and see what accommodation they've got. Could really do with trying to dry my boots out before the next stage. I've got some blisters to sort out properly, and it's just so much easier when you're inside and not having to do it in the middle of a tent. Here we are at Oykel Bridge. That's the River Oykel. We'll be heading upstream tomorrow.